All right, everyone. So this is going to be our internal training for how to set up Claude Code for the command line and use it to work within HubSpot. So it's going to be high level, but ultimately this is how you're going to get set up. This is how you can get to work inside accounts, pulling information from your HubSpot account or from the HubSpot accounts for our own HubSpot and then for our clients as well. And we always want to start with read-only access when we're working in accounts, just because we can pull information for exports and do a lot of local processing. And then we can also just read like schemas and data from there without doing the modifications in the client account. When you're more advanced and you understand how to layer things on with Claude so that it's more deterministic rather than probabilistic, then you can start creating things in Sandbox environments for the client accounts. And then if you test them in production, test them in Sandbox really heavily, then we migrate them over to the production account. So just make sure, one, read only first while you're getting used to this. Two, then it's in Sandbox only that you're doing net new development in and updates. And then all movement to production has to be using our other tools that copy and paste so that we know exactly what we're doing, or manual configuration, obviously. So first thing you want to do is open, obviously, a terminal or a command line, depending on what machine you're using. Once you do that, I would highly recommend creating a dedicated folder for your Claude instance here. So I'm going to, for example, go to mine, which is my Drive Claude. So I have this syncing to Google Drive. And then basically what you need to do is install Claude. And so if you're on a Mac, this should be, if you have, let's see, you should be able to use Brew. A couple ones that we can do. So we can either do this one. This is curl. So you can copy and paste this exact command in there, pause the video if you want to read it. You can also search this online, install Claude Code CLI. So that's one way you can do it. You can also use Brew, install Cask Claude Code. It's another one. And then if you're on Windows, it's going to look a little different, I believe. Let me see. Let me look it up. There should be like a PowerShell command. I believe it's this one. Obviously, just look this up first. But IRM, blah, 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 blah. So that's going to get you installed. And then what you want to do is when you're launching Claude, you just type in the command Claude. If you're on a Mac, you do -- dangerously skip permissions, which will just bypass the requirement or the, what do you call it? Like the request for you to accept permissions. Only do this if you are very confident in what you are doing and where you are operating on within your computer. So obviously giving it these permissions without reviewing carries a risk. And so we want to make sure that we're very scoped in terms of how we're using this. So that will actually launch Claude. You can also, when you're launching Claude, if you're in a specific folder where you have a chat with Claude and you want to access it later, you can do Claude -- resume, another space, and dangerously skip permissions. And so this will bring up your old conversations here. So you can see here, we have different conversations that you can relaunch. So you can continue where you left off. But overall, we're going to launch here with Claude, dangerously skip permissions. And then for you, it's going to require you to log in on the first time. You can log in via your browser. It'll give you options there. So you should be able to select which option. It'll open your browser window. You authenticate with our company account, and then you're good to go. And so I misspelled here. So just retype it. Dangerously permissions. And so this will launch Claude here. And now we are ready to actually work. And so one of the main things to remember here is that we want to think in levels. So we want to give Claude as much context as possible. I like to use Whisper, the Whisper app, so that I can just talk into the mic and it pretty much transcribes it perfectly compared to like the default transcription options on your computer. And I like to give as much context as possible. And then when we're actually doing things in HubSpot, we want to describe the end goal Then we want to have it analyze the portal overall. We want to give it directions on scripts to write in order to extract the information. If you can do that, it's better because you can give it very explicit instructions on how to write that middle piece that's deterministic. So remember, AI models are, from my understanding, probabilistic in terms of which token is next. There's a percentage of which one it should pick, depending on different settings. And then we want deterministic output, though, where we know what we're running inside of a HubSpot account is going to reproduce the same results every time. And so to do that, we have to actually have it create code and then test the code and then see what the results are and refine the actual code for later. Otherwise, the larger data sets you work with, the worse the results get. They like veer off path. And then we can obviously have static outputs as well, so that we're looking at Excel sheets that we're reviewing. We're looking at docs that we're reviewing. We're not just letting it run without that intervention. So that's a general approach that we want to take here. Now to get into actually how to work with the HubSpot accounts directly, you'll have a skill shared with you on various things we do inside of HubSpot. But if you don't have that yet, basically the first prompt that you want to start with is telling Claude to build skills around various things inside of HubSpot. So workflows, default object schemas, architecture, specific endpoints in the API, all that type of stuff. Have it do its research, create the skill files and the infrastructure needed in order for it to execute that on its own later on. So you're going to just give it a command. If you don't have the skills from our team, you're just going to give it a command like do extensive research on everything we'll need to build and interact with HubSpot via the API, then create skills and rules for yourself to do so. So you would run that, let it keep running, and then you'll eventually have a skill file that you can then tell it to refine itself. So this is another key. Every time you get an output, make it review and revisit it and check on the accuracy of it. And do that ideally 2 or 3 times. Okay, so let's pretend that this ran already, and now you have skills and instructions for Claude to actually go and work in the HubSpot accounts. Next, what we want to do is we want to get the service key from the account that we're going to work in. It's recommended to use dedicated folders for each account that you're working in before you launch Claude Code. So if I go back here, right now we're at a high level Claude folder, but ideally what we want to do is create a subfolder under that for each client account that we're going to be working in, instead of just grouping them all under one folder that you access all of Claude chats through. And then it's trying to like find the specific service keys and other information. It's better if you keep the context in the subfolders instead. So we would do like Claude and then a subfolder of client A, and then we'd launch a Claude chat in the client A subfolder and then work with it from there for that account. It just helps when you're like launching new chats. It has more context because it's in that specific folder that you're working. Anyways, we're using the HubSpot demo account. Go to your integrations. I just clicked the wrong thing. Go to your integrations here. Go to service keys, click on create new service key, name it, merge your data, MID. And then basically we want to bring in every single read scope that we can. So I just search for read, and then I'm going to check every single one that's relevant to the account. You might not need the custom objects one. Obviously, if they don't have enterprise, it's not relevant. And same with the lesser known objects like listings and partner clients. You might not want that in there. It might cause errors. It has in the past if you select it and the account doesn't have it enabled. So just make sure you look at that there. But go and check everything in here, including the schemas section down here. And then any of the other read sections for settings in the other section as well, because that gets you full access to everything you want to read. And then another one that you want to put in there is CRM export, so that Claude can effectively export data in bulk from the CRM. And then other than that, I think the main things, if you go to settings, let's see, I think it might be in others. You'll have some other ones in there that aren't marked as read, but will be necessary in order to pull certain information. Let me see if I can find an example here. Marketing email would be one. HubDB would be one. The only forms would be another. The only thing to look out for is that these scopes are not read only. So you have to be careful with how you're allowing Claude to use these scopes. Obviously, you don't want it to read from the forms or HubDB and then make updates. It shouldn't if you're telling it to read only. But basically, that's what you do. You go through and select those scopes. And then when you are at the advanced level and can do more interaction with the API, you can start doing read scopes in here, but make sure to always do it in Sandbox first. I cannot accentuate that enough. Do it in Sandbox first, always, so that you can check your work. So production, read only, so you can pull the data. Sandbox is the only one you should be doing right for with Claude Code. And so I'm going to exit out so we don't have to watch me click all this. Once you have that service key, that's when you can start going here. Make sure to ask it to use its skills. Make sure to ask it to also use the batch API when possible, if that's not in the skill already. And then you can say, please securely store this token for this account. I want to now get a full breakdown of the data quality issues that exist and any property configuration issues that you see. So you can do that, have Claude go through the API, put a report out. I always like to say, review your output at least 3 times, output the results in structured Excel and Word docs for me to review. Link in the chat when done. And so now we get going. Now this is how we're using Claude Code in the terminal, in the command line, with HubSpot specifically. You can extend this out to other tools as well. So it's not just HubSpot that this can be used for. Obviously, the more context we get in and the more we're putting in that folder structure, then the more we can do with this specific Claude instance, right? So the sky's the limit here, but overall, this is how you get started with the command line, with Claude Code in the command line, and then start querying HubSpot in the type of philosophy and approach that we want to take.